If you go to Africa, what you see is this bottomless pit of need. There are hungry people everywhere. There are children starving. It is overwhelming.
82% unemployment. That is a huge number. When we first got there, you couldn't find anybody that was standing up straight. And now there's a life when you walk in. I mean, people are standing up, they're excited, they know that they have a future. They know that they have hope.
At the beginning, when we got there and we started doing medical examinations on those kids, chronic health problems, chronic malnutrition, and all sorts of other related things. All those things are going to impact their ability to learn.
The West has participated in trying to help the continent for about, 43, 45 years? The West has the best of intentions, but by doing the same thing over and over again without a positive result, you really need to take time to look and say, what are we doing right and what are we doing wrong? Instead of taking one section and saying, okay, we're going to just address hunger, but if you can't have a person that's educated, how then are they going to learn to feed themselves later on? Now someone is going to come in, they're going to say, well, we're going to now meet medical needs. So this person who is starving here that needs some assistance, we're going to give them some medical treatment. But you get them healed, and then what happens? They have no food, and they still have no education.
Take you an hour and a half to reach this little village in the middle of nowhere, and it's barren the whole way there, and it's like this green oasis. Our school has become a hub of this community that has brought pride in immeasurable ways. It could be something as simple as picking up the garbage so that this community has a sense of pride because it's a place now of beauty where the people have a purpose, they are filled with hope, and you've got hope for the future. And that's something that they didn't have before we arrived in this community.
We did not believe that if we provided a dispensary, the village would figure out a way to provide the health care. But that's exactly what's happening. We had a very generous person come in and say, I'll build a dispensary. We built it. 2 weeks later, the health services come. Who is that lucky? We are. And I think our donors are that lucky.
The reputation that we've built in 3 short years has been really quite phenomenal. Anywhere we go in that country, we've experienced very positive feedback, and we've been asked to go so many places I couldn't even name them all because they see what we are doing is working. It is something that is respectful of the culture there and who they are. We understand that we're a guest in that country, and because of all of those things, Project Education, I believe, stands above.
People are always talking about the issue of AIDS and the issue of young mothers, teen pregnancy, all of those things. We have some very strict rules in place in our school. In addition, we have provided an opportunity for these children to move forward with their lives. And as a result, we have in 3 years 0 teen pregnancy and 0 new cases of AIDS.
We have a community that is removed. One of the advantages of being a very remote community at the very end of the road is that you're a remote community at the end of the road. So in terms of all of the rioting and the violence and all of the negative things that people have been hearing about in the news, we're insulated. And that again goes back to the idea of what we as an organization is all about. We go to those remote end of the road communities to make an impact. So much of Kenya is rural. That is where a lot of the big challenges are. And when we involve a community, it's where we can have the greatest impact.
This organization was started by 3 businesswomen versus being started by 3 social workers. We are people who are business-oriented, and the product that we are trying to produce is bettering people's lives. We are very much a business model. We are business people, and we deal with things in such a way.
What we did was we looked at economic development in the community because that impacts our students' lives. So we've really evolved into a project that focuses on the overall health and well-being of the community. As part of that community, we have education, we have nutritional needs that need to be met, we have medical needs that need to be met. We're working on environmental issues with planting trees, we're working on economic development, so it becomes an all-encompassing program that works on the healing of a community that impacts the lives of our students in a positive way. So the ripple effect of our project goes far beyond the village of Gamano, which when you then take that model and move to other communities, the significance of that impact is enormous on a country like Kenya.
It isn't enough to go in and buy people food. They have to be able to grow it themselves. That's something that we knew right from the beginning. We wanted to be able to walk away and the school continue. So they had to be able to feed the students. They had to find a way to produce enough revenue to keep the school going. They had to be able to govern themselves. They had to have policies that they believed in and could follow through with. We wanted the parents involved. We wanted them to relate to their communities. One of the things the three of us have talked about is how do you keep people in these communities? How do you keep them out of the slums in Nairobi when there's no work and there doesn't seem to be a possibility of a better life anywhere but in the city, in the sex trade? And we believe that this kind of model is really helpful because it keeps people tied to their community and it keeps them safe. What we really wanted to do was to find long-term solutions to help heal communities. And we were determined from that. So everything we do, we look at and we think, is this a solution or are we just pitching sand in the ocean?
When money is donated to Project Education, you can take that money, and in some cases you can triple that, you can quadruple that, but your money goes a very long way in Kenya. You can actually build a classroom for $3,500. There's nowhere, anywhere in the United States that you can build a classroom for a group of students for $3,500.
We are transparent. If people are interested in where the money goes, we are more than happy to share that information. It's important that people understand that their donation has a huge impact.
We even have one donor who has probably donated to a number of organizations over the years say to us that it was the best investment they have ever made. This is an organization that was started by 3 women in Whatcom County, and here we are not only impacting the lives of a community in Africa, but to have a donor say that to us, we were pretty proud of that. There's really opportunity for people in almost any area. Not only do we have the educational side, the adult education, the medical, and the environment and economic development, there's almost something for anybody to really participate in and feel that they're contributing in a very valuable way. So we would just encourage people to contact us. Who knows what could happen?
This is one school. There are so many locations in Kenya where this project can and will succeed. And so we are looking to people to say we would like to expand our model. Please come take a look at our success. Look at what we have done. Weigh us against other organizations. Andy, Jean, and I would be happy to sit down and talk to anybody and talk about our successes as compared to other organizations in this area.
If you would like to learn more about Project Education, please visit our website at peikenya.org.